Let's get into the Club World Cup preview, though.
Group A is probably one of the most interesting ones in my opinion. The one that
so
I'm
as well.
most excited to watch.
Yeah.
It's Palmeiras, Porto, Al Ahly, and Inter Miami. Like, you watch MLS a little bit.
I do.
How do you feel about Inter Miami?
Yeah, I was saying earlier, for them, it seems like they're never going to be a product of their coach. You talked about Tata Martino. You said, how does he, fit in that team so far?
No,
Is
that
it
was
is it not
before. It's Mascherano
Mascherano?
now.
It's Mascherano now.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Exactly my point, though. Exactly my point. It's never going to be about the coach. With Inter Miami, it never is going to be. You need a coach to lead the guys. But when you have Messi, Suarez, and Jordi Alba, and you have that chemistry, and you have the surrounding pieces of that, they're always going to be in there. They're always going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
You have those three guys.
And they've been saving their bodies for it. They're going to take
Well,
this
and that's the
seriously.
thing. So they're going to be good. I think they could actually get the second place in the group.
Yeah.
Really?
But it's going to be tough for
I'm
them either
really
way.
not. I did my research. I'm really not inspired with this Inter Miami team.
They're on a good run of form. They've started the season really badly,
Yes,
but they're on a good run of
I
form
was
now.
actually I was talking about Tata Martino. Ever since Javier Mascherano has joined the team as their head coach, it's not been as good as what it was under Tata Martino. A lot of MLS teams I'm not really high on. I think the MLS this year in the Club World Cup will be the league with the least amount of representation in terms of later on in the competition.
It depends on what happens. Like, this is another thing of why I'm big on another team that I won't get into, but it's just if the MLS teams can withhold the attacks of the bigger and more possession-based teams, and if they can get on the counter. Well, Inter Miami isn't really a good counter team. Like, they're okay, but they don't have the speed to be a great counter-attacking team. They have the quality to do it nonetheless, so they can
Absolutely
make tiki-taki passes, get through here, and eventually get a ball to Suarez or Messi, and they can do something magical. So I get it. You don't have to be high on them. I think despite the manager change, they've kind of been they've kind of been the same spot. Like, they were tops last year, whatever. I get it. I still see them being a bit of a chance, a small chance.
This might be insane. I don't watch MLS. I put Inter Miami fourth of their group.
Really?
I put them bottom of the group A.
Damn. Okay.
Porto, I'm
What are you
feeling good about.
Okay.
I'm feeling good about Rodrigo Mora.
Yeah.
I said it in Brazilian.
If he's still
accent, I
playing
don't
for
know why.
Porto at the time of the Club World Cup,
I think he
there's-
will be.
There's many shouts
I think he
of
will be.
PSG wanting Rodrigo Mora.
You guys know who plays for Al Ahly Trezeguet?
Yeah.
The Aston Villa Trezeguet.
So Al Ahly is one of the clubs I did the most research on. This is the
Nice.
biggest club in the history of African football.
Yep.
They're actually, fun fact, they have the most trophies of any club in the entire world.
nice.
They're on top of the trophy
Wow.
count. in
They're
terms
known
of
as
clubs.
the club of the century in Africa.
Really
They appeared
Bigger
in
than
the Club World
Madrid,
Cup
some
10
would say.
times.
bigger than Madrid in terms of trophies, that's for sure. But in Africa, I know here some people are not very hyped for the Club World Cup, but in Africa, in Egypt, in Tunisia, in South
Yeah.
Africa, everybody is so excited.
That's a
And
good
it almost
point.
feels
That's a
like
good
Al
point.
Ahly, being the top club that they are
Yeah.
in Africa, have the obligation to be efficient in this tournament. I have them second of this group because I think a lot of people are underestimating them, and it all relies on them beating Inter Miami in the opening game. I think
Where do you have Palmeiras then?
I have them third, Palmeiras third. Yeah.
I feel like Palmeiras might be a team that
I would love a Palmeiras run.
I would love a Palmeiras run too because they have Esteval obviously, and I would
Yep.
love to see him later in the competition.
I think they're big underperforming candidates. Like, I think
Really?
they just so it's only the top two go
yeah,
through,
top
right?
two go through. So for me, I guess as well, they're underperforming.
I think they might have like 3 really disappointing games, and I can see Estevao just not doing it, and then everyone's gonna lose the hype train.
Well, I mean, there would be more hype on him if he wasn't already going to Chelsea. If he was just an unknown prospect, put up great performances in the Club World Cup, and then all of a sudden
you mean
you
like
have
if we
like
discovered him from the
which
Club World
club is going to
Yeah,
sign
yeah.
him, whatever.
That would be nice.
It's like a James Rodriguez situation type of thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, but he's already going to Chelsea and joining the other 1,700 wingers on that squad already. It's like, I almost feel like his career is going to be ruined before it even starts.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Same how I feel with Quenda, Jamie Gittins, who's apparently going to Chelsea now. Like,
Look,
it's
I know this term is the comparison is thrown around a lot nowadays, but this guy, his nickname is Messinho. So to be compared to Messi is massive, right?
yeah.
I don't think he'll flop in this tournament, but I think looking at Palmeiras' team as a whole, I don't think you can rely on one player. Obviously, they have a couple players in there that do stand out, but I think they'll finish third in this group.
Valid.
A lot of African teams, I think, are going to go under the radar in this tournament.
Fair.
Porto has had a pretty underwhelming season in Portugal.
Yeah, we need to talk about that too. Man.
They finished third, but it was like a far and away third.
Yeah, and in Portugal, finishing third is unacceptable, especially for Porto,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Two-time
If you're
Champions League
one of
winners.
if you're one of the big three in Portugal, finishing third is a trip. It's
Exactly.
just
Not even not finishing first is scandalous.
Yes.
We're gonna get on to Benfica later, but I think they've had a frustrating season for sure.
Shall we move on to Group B, boys?
Well, Group B,
With the game of the group stage, I believe.
really? You think
Atletico versus PSG.
so? Yeah. So PSG, Atletico, Botafogo, and Seattle Sounders. A little research on Botafogo, bro?
No, not really. That was the one Brazilian team I kind of didn't really touch on. Other than the fact that they didn't do well, or they're not doing well in the Brazilian league right now.
Uh-huh.
I don't really have much to say about them.
Okay. And
yeah.
Seattle Sounders, I know you're more familiar with MLS.
The one thing I did realize is that Jordan Morris, who's like their main striker, has been for years, is out. So that's a big thing for them that
Okay.
they're going to be missed. They've been on the same trajectory as Toronto FC. It was Toronto FC and it was Seattle Sounders battling out for like who was the best in MLS for a couple years in the late 2010s, 2016, 17, 18, blah, blah, blah. Then they both kind of took a little bit of a downturn. Seattle Sounders not as bad as we, but they definitely have an outside chance to do something. They won't get in the top two, but they'll be decent enough to watch.
Really?
I feel
Blake,
like
they have
Yeah.
Stefan Fry.
They do have Stefan Fry.
Wow. Do you know who else they have? Ryan Kent.
No way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Seattle
Yeah.
Sounders is
FIFA.
Brian Kent.
yeah.
FIFA.
That's what I
20
mean. Like they have
legend.
they have a couple random people that you might not hate watching.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna win anything, but
I think the one advantage that these MLS teams have, which is pretty obvious, is that they're playing in the States. And I think that,
That is
especially for a team like the Seattle Sounders, who, fun fact, they average around like 45,000
travel
fans
well.
each game. I think that, yeah, if they can, like Blake, like you said, they travel well. If they can, get the fans behind them because they're on, home soil, I think. I mean, obviously, I think Seattle's not a great team going up against these three other teams, but you never know with the support. Hopefully, you can get behind them, especially at Lumen Field. I mean, it's known for when the Seahawks play there as like the being extremely loud for their fans. So, yeah.
And you know what? Call me an idiot, but I'm low-key cheering for the American teams a little bit because if they do well, it's massive for footy on this continent.
Yeah, that's true.
It just is.
That is true.
It is. It gets the hype going already, even before the World Cup comes here in a year's time. So,
true.
a little woke take from Julian, but it's just that's my opinion.
Do we want to say anything about Atletico Madrid or PSG?
Dembele's out for the group stages.
Fair.
Oh,
Okay.
is he actually?
Yeah, he is.
Group C.
Group C.
Group C.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna see an assault
So,
on Sunday.
but see, this group is kind of interesting
I like this group
for
as
the
well.
second place.
second, third.
Yeah, second, third is gonna be like an interesting little battle.
For sure, absolutely. Benfica and Boca Juniors, who
Yeah.
actually, let's talk about Auckland City first.
Go ahead.
Quickly. They're not even a professional team. They're a semi-professional team making the Club World Cup.
Well, I would like to say,
Game's gone, but-
I want to add a little fun fact in is that Auckland City, believe it or not, have the most appearances in Club World Cup history.
Really?
They've been in Club World Cup 12
Wow.
times.
What?
I don't know how.
this is how like Australia makes like every
It's
World
their,
Cup.
Auckland City
there's
isn't
no
even in Australia. I mean, they're
New
in the continent of
Zealand,
Australia, but they're in
yes,
New Zealand.
okay, yes.
I don't even know how that is, but yay, Auckland City.
Watch out for Kevin Zenon on Boca Juniors.
Yeah. No.
What?
But Benfica, how are we assessing their season, the situation?
I really don't know how to feel about Benfica because we've let a lot of our best players leave over the past couple of weeks. Notably, Di Maria has gone. Arthur Cabral has gone. You obviously still have names like Artukoglu and Pavlidis. You still have Bellotti, who came in January and has been doing pretty well. But I just don't know how to feel with like big pieces leaving just a couple of weeks out from the tournament.
It's been a really, really frustrating season, I think. You've been second in almost every department.
We is crazy.
In
That's
almost
okay,
every
that's
department, Benfica have been second this season. Second in the league, second in the cup, Taca
Yeah.
Portugal. Even the top goal scorer Benfica was the second top goal scorer of the league. The second assister of the league was a Benfica player.
Yeah,
so
cheers, man.
they've been second in every single department in the Portuguese league. So it's been very, very frustrating, especially when you know that in Portugal, if you're a club like Benfica, you should inexcusably be first every single year, I think.
You should.
And especially losing to Sporting, who haven't won 2 leagues in a row since decades, I think, right?
Yep.
It's been really frustrating. There's also I was doing a little bit of research. There's also the mood is very tense around the club because there's the presidential elections coming up.
My grandpa was talking about this yesterday.
Yeah,
yes.
and Rui Costa, who's the current president of the club, he hasn't put forward his candidacy.
Oh, really?
basically,
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's basically they don't know in what direction the club is going. Give me 2 players to watch out for in Benfica.
And one of them better be Bruma.
One of them better be Carreras.
One of them is Carreras. I was worried that he wasn't going to stay
If
for a
he's
little
still
bit.
there, yeah.
The other, low key, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation. I have never said it right in my life. Schelderup.
Really?
A young left winger, Danish, and every single, like, he's usually like coming off the bench for us, like for Di Maria or for Artikoglu or for one of our wingers, and putting up good performances. Very tricky young guy, but he's going to probably be starting now, I would imagine. Could put his name in the shop window.
I like that. I was also looking at Kokchu.
Kokshu is obviously there
Obviously,
as well,
right.
of course.
Based off all of the names on the team sheet, you would expect Benfica to get out of their group. Benfica fans almost need them to do good in this tournament so that they acquire a lot of money. They get a lot of money from the prize pool. I have them just over Boca Juniors. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done all of the research in the world on Boca Juniors. I know that they're probably a team that can go under the radar, but from name alone and stature alone, you would expect Benfica to.
We could go on like a fairy tale run. Like we've beaten Bayern before. Like
Yeah,
we could do
absolutely.
really well in this tournament. We could also come last in this group. Like third in this group.
Third.
We're not Auckland City. I'm sorry, is not beating us.
Are we kind of overestimating Bayern Munich a little bit, maybe?
No, come on.
No?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think literally the most important game of this group is the first one. It's Benfica against Boca Juniors.
Yeah.
I think that just determines how this entire group is gonna pan out.
Group D: Flamengo, Espérance de Tunis, Chelsea, LAFC.
You should talk about Esperance de Tunis.
I think Espérance de Tunis have something to do in this group.
They're low-key, they're kind of massive. They're a massive club, eh?
They're the biggest club in Tunisia.
Yeah.
That's for sure. What?
No, that's massive, though.
The one thing with Tunisia is their fans. Tunisian football, their fans are insane. You saw the celebrations when PSG won the Champions League. I can guarantee you it's 10 times worse if Tunisia wins something of the equivalent. But for me, I have Espérance de Tunis at second in this group, and it all relies on
Wow.
the first
Really?
game of their campaign, which is against Flamengo. If you can win or get a point at least against Flamengo and start your campaign off very well, then you later play LAFC, who, as I've mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of
Not high on.
MLS teams, especially. I think LAFC might be the worst one on this list. You have Giroud starting. Does he even start anymore?
Not
He
really.
doesn't even
no.
look. He doesn't even look like half the
They
player
still
that
have
he
Hugo
once was.
Lloris.
Yeah, they have Lloris in there. What's his name? Buanga.
Buanga.
Huh?
Buanga.
Buanga,
Or
yeah.
Buanga, yeah.
They have him
Yeboah
too.
as
But
well.
yeah, I think they should beat LAFC. And then the third game they play is against Chelsea, who at that point would probably have already qualified, and maybe would be
They're not getting
fielding
a
a
point on
weaker
Chelsea.
team.
They're not getting a point on Chelsea,
You
bro. Chelsea in the conference league was a
Yes,
bigger
yes.
step up
Yes.
than
Yeah.
Yes,
this.
I just don't want people
Let's
to.
not take it too far.
No, I know, but they won't be playing their first team.
Chelsea,
Yes.
oh, they could play their fourth. They could play their U18s. I don't care. With all due respect, like
if you get a point against Flamengo and then win against LAFC, you are qualified.
I don't know. I'm kind of high on Flamengo.
Are you?
I am
I'm
too.
gonna be honest.
I
Yeah.
am too.
They're first in the Brazilian league.
Yes,
only
yes.
conceded 4 goals this entire season. Do you know who their coach is?
Who?
Felipe Luis.
Oh, yeah.
Like
wow.
Atletico Madrid left back. That's why we're this kid today.
Wow.
And what I think is the biggest thing with them is they have so much European experience. You guys remember Everton? The one that played for. Did he play
Yes.
for Everton?
He played for Benfica for a bit.
Right. Garrison from Marseille. They have Danilo from Juve and other also from he
Okay.
played for
City.
in Portugal too, right?
Man City.
And Man City as well. Alexandro. They just have a lot of European experience, which is
Okay.
something in a knockout style tournament that bodes well for me. Their attack might be a little mid, but I think their defense and their midfield is definitely what's gonna propel them to 100% getting second in this group.
I agree.
100% you said?
100%.
100%.
100%.
100%.
100% they're going.
You want to
to
make a bet?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. How about if Espérance de Tunis finished second,
Mm-hmm.
you get me an Espérance de Tunis kit?
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like where this is
Okay,
going.
and then
Where
what-
are you getting that from? I have
I'll
no
figure
idea.
it out.
You can decide what would I do if Flamengo wins.
I'll take a Flamengo, okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Reciprocate it.
Okay. There you go.
There you go.
Real or fake though is the question.
Whatever cheapest for both of us, yeah.
Now I'm supporting Esperance de Tunis. I'm on.
I might be a Flamengo supporter.
I'm on that train now. I might get the kit even if I don't win the bet.
This is the shit about the Club World Cup that I love. Okay?
Yeah.
Like putting our emotions into these teams that otherwise, let's be real, wouldn't really care about.
Absolutely.
That's why I love
fair
this
enough.
tournament.
Yeah.
Group
Anyways.
E?
Group E is Inter, Monterrey, River Plate, and Urawa Red Diamonds.
This is a very interesting
And
group,
what?
I think.
Urawa Red Diamonds.
Japanese team. This is an interesting group, I think. You have River Plate and Monterrey that can really go under the radar, I think. And then you have an Inter team that just lost their coach. So, and have a completely new coach. I have Inter second in this group. Many people are underestimating Mexican football, I think. A lot of people are
I think
underestimating
so, too.
Mexican football. And you
Yeah.
look at, even just from the World Cup, they are consistently a team. Mexico is consistently a team that does well in the World Cup. Mexican football always goes under the radar. And I think they, especially Monterrey, who have a solid squad. They even have Sergio Ramos, let's not forget. But they can really do something in this group, I think.
The only thing I would say is that, one, I hate the Mexican football team just as a Canadian. I just hate them. But second, it has been like the rise of Canada and the other island nations in CONCACAF that I've kind of seen Mexico kind of take a downturn for the national team at least. But Mexican club teams, completely different story. In the CONCACAF Champions League, which is like the one that they've done, like the MLS, the Liga MX, and a couple of the
Liga
other-
Mekis.
Is that what it is now?
Liga Mekis.
Liga
MX
Mekis?
is, I think you say Mekis.
Okay.
Yeah.
My apologies.
No, it's because, I'm in a Brazilian,
Yeah, I get
so
you. I
have
get
to do
you.
the Mexicans.
But the CONCACAF Champions League, which is like the North American version
Mhm.
of the Champions League, Mexico has dominated that tournament
Absolutely.
since its
Yeah.
since its arrival
You're right.
in football.
In a lot of the previews that I've watched of the Club World Cup, a lot of people underestimate Mexican teams, and I don't
Mhm.
want to make the same mistake because I think
Fair.
a lot of Mexican teams, I think there's only two, but both Mexican teams in this year's Club World Cup they won't go unnoticed. I don't think
Yeah.
they'll go unnoticed.
I think it'd be kind of cool if River Plate went through because it could. There's this. I don't know off the top of my head what the outline for the bracket is, but there is a chance that River Plate could end up facing Boca Juniors at some point.
Really?
and that'd
That'd be massive.
That'd be so
enough.
sick.
So before, like I said, before Seattle Sounders won the CONCACAF Champions League, before Seattle won the CONCACAF Champions League in 2022, it's been only,
Mhm.
specifically only Mexican teams.
Really.
Club America, Pachuca, Guadalajara, Monterrey, Unal, Monterrey. Again,
And this year was
Cruz Azul.
Cruz Azul.
So they've dominated
Mhm.
since, its existence.
Honestly, I'm looking at my predictions. They might be woeful, but I had fun making these.
There
Like,
you
I
go.
didn't want to be boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't want to do the best team top of the group every time. That's why I had to switch it up with Inter. And then later on in our predictions, Inter's gonna come up again. I don't think they're. It's just for me. It's the new coach thing. It's Christian Chivu. He kept Parma up by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah.
I'm not, and especially in such a short time span, I don't think he'll truly have his team playing in the way that he wants them to play. So I'm really not sold on this Inter Milan team that have just made the Champions League final. Let's not forget.
Fair.
Might be crazy to say, but I seriously am not sold.
Okay. You
Should
want
we,
to go to Group F?
sorry,
Go to Group F?
Group F?
Group F is Dortmund, Fluminense, Mamelodi Sundowns FC, and Ulsan HD FC. HD.
HD.
They're high def.
4K.
Oh, they're 1080p.
Mm-hmm.
1080p.
So
1080p FC.
a South Korean team and a South African team in here. In terms of groups I'm most excited to watch, obviously you have Group A, Group B with my team, and I think the next one up is Group F. It's just watching Dortmund against Mamelodi Sundowns is never something that I thought would happen in my lifetime, but I'm excited that it will happen.
Lads, be honest. Are
Yeah.
you guys watching Ulsan versus Mamelodi Sundowns?
I
Yes.
Could
On
be.
the 17th,
I
6
really
p.m.
like the cut
Yeah,
of the
6 p.m.
of
No
South
way.
African
I will be there.
team,
I will be there no matter what. And if I miss it, I'm watching a replay of it, full length.
I reckon I could be there.
Mamelodi Sundowns is the richest club in Africa.
Okay.
Fun fact: in their last 150 games that they played in their championship, they've lost 10 of them.
Wow. Can I add another
Go
fun
ahead,
fact? The Mamelodi Sundowns are often nicknamed the Brazilians because of their crest colors and kit, but they also they once held 70% of ball possession in a continental final. So I think very. I'm not even kidding.
Shout out the Sundowns, dude.
Dude, they're called the Brazilians because of the way they play,
The Sundowns.
how dominant they are.
The
So yeah.
The Sundowns will not go unnoticed in this competition.
What's like their highest value player? Oh, 2 mil. Okay.
No,
Guys-
what about Lucas Ribeiro? He's Brazilian, worth 2.3.
Look,
Yes,
Wow.
I'm gonna be honest. They just lost to Pyramids
Okay.
in the Confederation of African Football Champions League.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, where? When?
That's their last game. They lost to Pyramids 2-1.
That's not what it's. Oh yes. So I see.
Pyramids.
I see.
This was a second leg, right? Because in
Yes.
Africa they do 2-leg finals.
2-leg
Yes.
final. Yeah. Yeah.
Holy wokeness.
Oh, that was the final. Oh, they lost the final.
Yeah.
No.
Oh wow.
They lost the final in the Champions
Wow.
League.
To Pyramids are a good team.
Pyramids is a good team. It's a
Yeah.
team in Tunisia.
Been around for a while.
I think
team in Tunisia or Egypt. One of the
Ahmed
two.
Ahmed Sami played
I'm
really
gonna
well in that
lean
game.
Egypt for no
particular reason.
No particular
Okay.
reason, but I'm gonna assume it's Egypt.
It
But
is
in
Egypt.
2023, the
Can confirm.
Mamelodi Sundowns, they win the Champions League over Al Ahly, who are the most dominant team in Africa, right?
wow.
Al Ahly usually win all the Champions League. They're the ones that sweep all the trophies. But in 2023, Mamelodi Sundowns, they win the Champions League over them, which is what qualifies them for this tournament. And again, as a lot of these teams on here, their campaign solely relies on them being good in their first game against Ulsan, who I think is the weakest team in their group.
Fair.
If they can win against Ulsan, they then play Dortmund, who they will lose against. And if they can nick a point off Fluminense, that would mean that they qualify.
Bro, looking at some of the names here in the Egyptian league, there's a National Bank team just called National Bank.
Nice.
There's also Ceramica Cleopatra.
Yes,
That's a team.
Yeah, bro. I bet you their
That's a
jersey's
team.
sexy.
100%.
That's a team.
How do we see this group going?
I don't know.
It's either Fluminense or Dortmund, Fluminense, or Dortmund Sundowns. I think Ulsan.
I would
will
love
massively
Ulsan to-
underperform.
I would
They're
love.
not. They're not. They're a South Korean team. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not the favorites to beat Sundowns even. So.
1080p FC. That's what I'm
1080p
calling
FC.
them.
All right,
That's what I'm
let's do
calling
that.
them.
Shall we G it up?
Group G.
It's Al Ain,
Yeah.
Juve, City, and Wydad Casablanca.
Why
There's a clear top two
Moroccan
here.
team.
Yeah.
Clear top two here. City Juve.
City go 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Top the group with 9 points. Juventus probably 6 points if we're being honest. Al Ain, how do you feel about their chances, boys?
I think they finished third of this group. I think Wydad Casablanca specifically, they only qualified to this for this World Cup because of their Champions League win in 2022. But it was under, the Morocco head coach right now, the one that brought them to the semifinal,
Yep.
Regragui. He was the one managing Wydad Casablanca when they won the Champions League.
Oh.
So that's why a big part of their success was tied to their coach, and ever since he's left, the team hasn't been good at all. They've been a shadow of what they were under him. So I see them finishing fourth of this group with Al Ain third, Juve second, and City first.
And Al Ain is in the United Arab Emirates Pro League.
Yeah.
And
UAE.
they also have an Al Nasser in that league as well.
Do they? I don't see it.
Actually,
Where is it?
They Al Nasser Soccer
Oh
Club.
my God. Blake is dumbfounded.
Seferovic plays for this team. Yo, what? Bro, what? That's crazy. Y'all remember Seferovic?
It is. He
What's
played for
funny?
Benfica as
Played for
well.
Benfica too.
My old roommate from first year university is actually like cousins with this guy.
Really?
Swear to God.
Clear top two for this group then, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
City, Juve.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%. 100%.
Okay.
Group H.
Group H.
Group
Very
H.
interesting
I
group.
think this might be my favorite group.
Mhm.
Really?
Al Hilal. Al Hilal.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm an Al Nasser fan.
Yeah.
Al Hilal.
Yeah.
Pachuca.
Uh-huh.
Real Madrid. Salzburg.
I mean, the first one is obvious. It's Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Oh, I would love.
I think
love
it's-
a group stage exit. For
I
Real
think
Madrid.
it'd just be funny to be like, first one's obvious. It's definitely Pacho.
No, for what it implies for Xavi Alonso's first tournament, Trent's going to be there. I think Real Madrid need to
Yeah, they gotta
need to
show
make
out.
it out.
They'll have that youngster too.
The youngster.
Mastastuono.
Mastantuono? Is he going to?
No.
No,
He-
he signed. Here he go.
Oh,
No,
but he's not actually.
He's
going
not
yet.
going.
He's not going
He's
for the
he's
Club
staying
Cup,
to.
though.
I was gonna bring him
Ah,
up. He's staying with. Where is he? River
River
Plate.
Plate, yeah.
Oh, so he's
So
staying with
he's
them
staying
for
with
the Club
River
Cup.
Plate
Ah.
for the
Ah.
Club World
That's
Cup,
good.
and then he's going
That'll be a
to.
great asset to their
Yeah,
arsenal.
then
for
he's
sure.
going to Real Madrid.
Oh
which
my
I
God,
like.
Salomon Rondon is on Pachuca. Wow.
So, in accordance to me not overrating the Mexican teams, I have Pachuca finishing second in this group and Al Hilal third.
What?
What's your order, Julian?
My order is pure vibes. Real Madrid first. Probably Al Hilal second.
Yeah, I
I'm
like
gonna
that.
say Pachuca come third though.
Salzburg fourth. I have it written here. They have 3.5 times more budget than Sturm Graz, who won the league 2 years in a row now.
Yeah.
But they still can't manage to win the league in the last years. They find it very difficult now to attract the best Austrian players. Sabitzer went through there, Leimer went through there, but now it's very difficult for them to attract these players like they did in the past. So
their
very
best
difficult
their
for them.
best player, Oscar Glauch, Israeli.
Israeli, yeah. It's Glauch? You say Glauch? I thought it was Gluck.
I think it probably is Gluck. I just signed him on
Really?
an FM save a couple
Also,
years
after a
back.
couple players to watch here. Nene.
For good things.
Have you?
For good things.
You're not breaking character today, huh?
I know what's going on with
Yeah,
him
what's
today?
happening with him?
Are you mad that I did the Benfica thing again?
No, guys, I'm okay. I'm just not as informed on this tournament, so I'm keeping
fair. That was-
quiet
that
a
was
little
me-
bit.
that was me
I don't
when
want
you
to be
guys-
disrespectful to Nene and the likes.
Of course.
Dorgalez, I've heard okay things about. He's pretty young.
Who?
Nene.
Oh,
It's the same player.
That's funny.
Oh, that's great. That is great. This is what the Club World Cup does.
This is what it does. Okay,
This
so
is
we,
good.
do we want to go on to our
What's the time?
overall
What time are we at right now?
prediction? Probably an hour.
I'm sorry, Nene. I'm sorry.